Hello, Steve White, Steve House 89. Well, I am doing horror movie marathons of franchises, mostly with films where I've maybe seen the first film because it was a hit and then the sequels sort of trailed off. But this time it's Scream. Now, I saw, God, I hate to admit it, I didn't see all six films. I saw the first four films in the cinema back in the day, and I don't know, at some point I just didn't get back on the train. And I'm gonna do a franchise review of all six films when I've watched all six films because was planned to watch all six films last night, and I got through to the fourth film. I started an hour or so late. They all go for about an hour 50 minutes, which I didn't realize. I just ran out of time, and I stopped at four. So I just rewatched the first four films again, um, and I'm going to watch the second two and then do a franchise review. But the first film, of course, is iconic. It's a classic. It's brilliant. I saw it back in the day in the cinema, and I don't know if we knew, because we knew Drew Barrymore was in it. I don't know if we knew how that first scene was going to play out, that first 13 minutes, where Drew Barrymore is the first victim, and she's the big star of the film, and she's the first victim. And that sort of was planned as a psycho sort of homage that was supposed to, put us all off of, God, what's going to happen? But they killed the main star, what's going to happen next? So then we go to the town, and there's a character, Sydney, who her mother was killed the year before. She's still traumatized from that, stigmatized from that. There's rumors about her mother. She put a guy in jail. A lot of people think he's innocent. And Courtney Cox's reporter, Gail Weathers, is there to investigate the current murders, but also to sort of question and try and support this idea that the killer was not the killer. So we have a bunch of scenarios, and I don't want to go too much into the details because, I mean, number one, pretty much everyone's seen this film. And even though I've only seen it probably three times, 'cause I saw it in the cinema on video, and then I must have watched it at least once more before I saw the third film. So I've only seen it a few times, but I remembered everything about it. Like the first scene is so well staged and well planned and acted and everything, and then the rest of the film, I could quote so many lines through the film. Like I've only seen this film three times, but I remember it so well because it was just perfect. It was filmed on location for the most part, so you have real sense of reality. The town basically shuts down after the second lot of murders. The kids, of course, are all put on curfew. So what do? Have a big party to bring everyone together, so they're all in jeopardy together. Rose McGowan's character has some memorable lines like "Bam, the bitch went down." She you can't not think of Harvey Weinstein being involved in this production and her being in it and all the Me Too stuff when watching this, and her character and that. So, but essentially we get to the end after many scenarios and some horrible deaths, and we find out there is a pair of killers. I'm not going to give them away in case you haven't seen this. I doubt that anyone watching this has not seen the film, but just in case. And it's pretty memorable, but their plan doesn't go as planned, and Sydney and they survive, and they set up this idea that the main characters survive, and you have a new killer with each film. So they just kept doing film after film, and they'd have a different killer each time, and it'd be a mystery, and it was a matter of will the main cast survive, and you're rooting for the main cast because you're attached to them, you care about them, you're invested in them, and it set up a different dynamic. And I mean, the films were self-referential. It didn't start this trend, but Wes Craven's New Nightmare started it. He continued it with this, but it became popular and mainstream, and then everyone wanted to do a mainstream Hollywood horror film. And there are ones that followed, like I know he did last summer, an Urban Legend, that were really successful. And it set up like the current sort of era of Hollywood, which horror movies in Hollywood, which continues now, where you have decent budget, but still manageable budget, like 5, 10, 15, 20 million sort of thing. And they do well, and that this era hasn't really ended. There was a big stretch in the late 90s and early noughties, but it's kept going. We've gone right through into Blumhouse, and it's sort of ushered in this new age of horror, which I think we're still in. The Scream era, I kind of would say we're still kind of in it, a little bit removed, but we're still in it. But yeah, performances were great. It was funny how many people were in it that I didn't realize were in it. But I'm not going to go into all the cameos and that. It's just I'm getting towards 5 minutes, and I want to do a review for each film. I mean, Skeet Ulrich is the boyfriend. Jamie, oh my god, the comedian. I've forgotten his name. He's in it. The only thing that doesn't work for me about the film is at this party they're playing Halloween and going about like the horror rules and all that. And I just felt like Halloween is too specific to Halloween, the holiday. They should have used another film like Prom Night or something as just to have a horror movie on, and also to sort of talk about the rules and how things work and that. So that's the only thing I don't like about the film that I think they got wrong, because I think the more you watch the film, I think it undermines Halloween and makes it harder to watch Halloween on Halloween as like a film. So that's the only thing I think this film did wrong. But everything else is perfect. I loved it. Just I had such great memories of watching it, and it really took me back to when I watched it. And just everyone was into this film. It was just great. So I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the original Scream. And I'm going to, do a review of the second.